Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Traders Summit, and I have Mr. Dick Matthews with us from Pardus FX. How are you, Mr. Matthews? Good to see you.
I'm very well, Mr. Morrow. I'm pleased to say, well, not pleased to say, I guess I'm pleased to say that my prediction came true, that we've now got a new Prime Minister.
Yeah, and that happened very quickly. I know everybody, even people I know that aren't in the markets, know about the lettuce challenge that Liz Truss had. And it's really amazing to me as an American just to see how quickly your leadership can change there. Is this common?
We've had 4 prime ministers. It never used to be like you'd have a prime minister for 5 or 6 years, and then you'd have another one. And I just think it reflects how politics has changed over here, and it's become more volatile. And maybe it goes a little bit back to divisions caused by Brexit. And there's certainly two wings to the Conservatives, and there's 2 wings to the Labour Party. So maybe we're in for change. And I think after the next election, which the Conservatives almost certainly will lose, that there'll be pressure to change our voting system over here. At the moment, it's first past the post. And I think that there'll be a push to get proportional. A good thing or a bad thing is open to debate. So I think that we could be more open for Italian politics going forward than we have been in the past.
So, I lost you for a few seconds there. Do you mind just saying over again what you were saying about? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I do think that politics has changed over here. We've had 4 prime ministers in a very short period of time. I think it's possibly down to the Brexit vote and the splintering of people's politics. Certainly on the Conservative Party, you've now got pretty clear divisions, and I think you've got the same on the Labour Party. I think you could see that this is here to stay. And I think the next election, which I suspect Labour will win easily, that you could well see proportional representation coming on.
Okay, so what does that mean for the sterling? Because now, with Sunak, obviously coming in as prime minister, it seems like the sterling's cheering it a little bit, but I don't know if it's a mechanism of the dollar weakening, or is it really the sterling strengthening? What are your thoughts?
I'm glad that you pronounced his name correctly, unlike Mr. Biden, whose brave attempt came out sounding more like some sort of helicopter Chinook, I think he called him. I don't know whether that was deliberate or not. It did amuse me. I think that it's probably, there's a little bit of a bounce, because of Sunak seen as a safe pair of hands on the tiller. But I actually think the dollar's weakening has helped sterling bounce. I mean, it's up across the board today, isn't it? I mean, my old friend, the euro's hitting its head on parity again. Sterling's up. I think it touched 150. If it didn't, it may have fallen a pip short of it, which I think was our target, or one of the targets that we were talking about. So I think there's some dollar weakness. I don't understand why there is. Maybe just people were overly long, and they're so dying for the pivot that every opportunity they get, they want to sell the dollar. What do you think?
It's hard for me to wrap my head around it, because I still feel the dollar should be strengthening. However, with maybe this weakening in European natural gas is allowing for some strengthening in some of the European type of currencies, European bloc currencies. I don't know. It is hard to put your finger on, but we're also seeing risk appetite improve a lot, and we have the S&P back above 3810, which I think was a pretty big level. So I think there's might be a few things that are affecting it. But I want to ask you this. I know in the past you're pretty bearish on the sterling. However, things have changed, obviously, and as traders and as analysts and as strategists, you have to change your theme, because if you don't, the market will obviously school you at some point. So what are your thoughts about the sterling moving forward? Are you still sell rally? And if so, what are the levels? Or do you think, hey, the UK economy might be in good hands, and I want to be long sterling now and maybe look for higher levels?
I've had 115 in my head for a long time, to be sure. I'd be a seller here if it touches 115 or gets near it, which I'm not sure it's trading exactly at this moment in time. It's 114.70.
Yeah.
If it breaks through, then I'd add to my shorts if it approached 116. I think it's probably going to range trade between 110 and 115 at the moment, and we're heading towards the top of that range. I think the market's wrong about the dollar. He says, shutting his eyes and hoping that he's going to be right. I don't think the Fed's going to pivot anytime soon. And even if they do, they're not going to drop rates really, really quickly. You've still got this interest rate differential playing in your favor. And you've got some pretty big figures coming out this week, aren't there? There's PCE and GDP coming out the back end of the week. So my gut feeling is that you're at the top of the range on both the dollar and the euro. Sorry, on both the dollar and the euro.
As a technician, I would say, currencies or market instruments always look very bullish at resistance. So, just because it looks super bullish right now, if that resistance holds, and we form more of a range, very good case that it could respect this. And I think you're right. Going into the Fed this next week, people will be looking for some sort of pivot. And like you believe, and I'm in the same camp. Dick, I don't know if the Fed is going to actually give us that pivot that the market's looking for. So we'll have to see. I guess next week's going to be an important one.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got the ECB this week's going to be interesting. I think they're going to hike by 75. I think the best the market can hope for is that the Fed won't be as hawkish as it's been. Yeah, that's true. I don't think it'll pivot. It might tone the rhetoric down a little bit. But then all the good news is in the market. So, I haven't changed my view terribly. I haven't changed my view, actually, full stop.
All right. Well, since you haven't changed your view full stop, that means you are looking to sell rallies in the sterling.
Yeah.
And we talked about those levels. Dick, can you tell us a little bit what you do over at Pardus FX? Even though you're not at the office right now and you happen to be in your home office, what do you do for your clients there at Pardus?
As you can see, I am definitely in my home office with footballs around me. We look after some high net worth individuals and help guide them through the FX markets and advise them when's the best time to get into the markets and buy and sell and transact to buy overseas assets, which is actually great fun, and talk to a couple of institutions and SMEs as well. So it's all good fun.
Awesome. Well, Dick, I want to thank you for spending your time with us. I know sometimes it's a little challenging to always try to meet with me once a week, but we at the Trader Summit community appreciate your insights there with your boots on the ground insights. So thank you so much for spending time with us, and we'll catch you next week.
No problems. Have a good week.
You too.
Cheers now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey traders, Blake Morrow here. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also click the bell notifications so you do not miss any of our market-related trading analysis from some of the leading industry experts. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video.